celebrated for her honesty and questioned by some about the accuracy of her memories.
So as far as you could tell, her memory was pretty crystal clear.
What she always said to me was, I may not remember days, times, dates, but when you have a man raping you, his face 6 inches from your own, you remember that face.
Virginia Giuffre said Epstein's former girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell, recruited her to the sex ring in 2000 when she was a 16-year-old working at Mar-a-Lago, President Trump's resort in Palm Beach, Florida, and she was quickly immersed in Epstein's world of money and depravity. In this photo, taken at a party in 2001, Giuffre is the girl in the foreground. Maxwell's now serving a 20-year sentence for child sex trafficking and has reportedly sought a presidential pardon, something President Trump has not publicly decided for or against.
She should not be pardoned.
And explain why. You sat there with Virginia for 4 years.
She did not just procure. She did not just keep the date book of what girls came when. No. This woman participated in the sexual abuse, and she should absolutely not be pardoned.
He knows what happened. I know what happened. And there's only one of us telling the truth.
Giuffre also famously sued Britain's Prince Andrew in 2021, to whom she said she was trafficked for sex 3 times, starting when she was 16. The prince repeatedly denied any wrongdoing, but settled with Giuffre the following year and issued a statement saying he regretted his association with Epstein. But the rumors kept flying, and Andrew became a distraction to the crown. So just this past Friday, he announced he was giving up all of his royal titles, including Duke of York. And he, Virginia Giuffre wrote, was only one of many.
Did Virginia believe that the Epstein files contain the names of other men who abused her and maybe others that have not been revealed yet?
She didn't just believe it, she knew it. She knew what she told them, and some of those names are not public.
So authorities have those names in the Epstein files?
Presumably, if somebody kept them in a file cabinet in an efficient way.
Giuffre also believed there might be a trove of videotapes from cameras in Epstein's homes. And in recent months, there's been mounting pressure from people who want the president to authorize the release of all of the Epstein files. Virginia Giuffre was one of them.
Did she mention President Trump at all in your discussion?
Oh, she absolutely did. She was a huge Trump fan because he campaigned on releasing the Epstein files.
But she never talked about him in any sense that he was involved in any of this?
No. No, he was not. As far as she knew, and again, she was there for 2+ years, but as far as she knew, he was not involved in the ring of trafficking that Epstein was working.
Giuffre also writes that her sexual abuse ordeal started at home. She says her father, Sky Roberts Sr., started abusing her when she was 7 years old. He didn't respond to our request for comment, but told Amy Wallace he never abused his daughter. Virginia's brother, Sky Roberts, and his wife, Amanda, say they believe her.
And you confronted him.
He knows what he did.
He denied it in the book. You know, Amy reached out to him and he said, absolutely not, I would never touch my daughter. You don't believe that?
I believe my sister.
And as for Jeffrey Epstein, who was found dead in his New York prison cell in 2019 while awaiting trial on sex trafficking charges, Virginia Giuffre said his abuse went beyond sexual assault, like ordering her to tuck him in at night.
So she would go in, she would pull the covers up. He didn't want sex, and she was instructed to stay with him until he fell asleep.
It just struck me because this is a young woman who wasn't nurtured all that much as she grew up, and here she's turning around and having to perform this nurturing act to her abuser.
Yes. And it's one of the reasons that Epstein and Maxwell said to her repeatedly, you'd make a great mother.
Giuffre went on to say that they asked her to carry a child for them and sign away her parental rights.
It's like a modern Handmaid's Tale. And interestingly, that was the straw that broke the camel's back for her.
Years after Virginia Giuffre left Epstein, she was tormented by what she said she suffered at his hands. She married, moved to her husband's native Australia, became a mom and a voice for abuse survivors, but there was turmoil at home. Shortly before she died, she told People magazine that her husband, Robert Giuffre, physically abused her, but the courts granted him a restraining order and custody of their 3 children. In a statement to Sunday Morning, Robert Giuffre's attorney said that since the case is still pending, Robert and the children were, quote, very limited in their ability to respond to the various unfounded allegations. Virginia's brother and sister-in-law say the loss of her children might have helped push Virginia over the edge.
And you know there are so many conspiracy theories out there, so I just want to make clear, are you absolutely sure that your sister took her own life?
I am. But I was with her in her final days. I mean, I was the one that found my sister when she had passed. I'm so sorry.
She wrote in her book, my goal now is to prevent the emotional time bomb that lives inside me from ever detonating again. What do you think happened?
The worst thing that could happen to a mother. Her children. She was separated from her children. And that is something that she couldn't bear. That was something she couldn't. I don't think any mother could handle.
Virginia Giuffre left behind an account of her life that's both illuminating and heartbreaking. A window into the mind of a young girl preyed upon by demons and a woman who fought them till the end.
Who was Virginia to you?
To me, always my protector. You know, that was her little brother, and but she just had this strength inside of her that I think if you had the opportunity to meet her, was just courageous. She was unlike anybody that you'd ever met.
I think it's always important to remember that she was also human and vulnerable and beautiful and funny and beautifully flawed and strong. She was just amazing. I think, like he said, there was nobody like her.